and welcome to In the Kitchen with me, Apple Brown Betty. Now today I'm going to make for you one of my all-time favorite Friendsgiving side dishes. It's my Boozy cranberry sauce. Now, growing up in the South, as you can imagine, our Thanksgivings consisted of a lot of food. We had turkey and stuffing and dressing, stuffing and dressing, yes, both. All sorts of side dishes, breads, puddings, cakes, everything. Afterwards, you had to take a nap, and it wasn't the tryptophan and the turkey, it was because you were so stuffed. And then the men would watch football, and the ladies would, talk about lady things. So anyway, getting older, and of course, you move away from home, we celebrate more Friendsgiving, especially in our community. So this dish is one that I would never take to my conservative family, but for my new family, I bring this every year for Friendsgiving. And it's got a little bit of booze, a little bit of a kick, and that's why it's so delicious. So let's get started. Here's what you're going to need. You're going to need a half a cup of dried apricots, a quarter cup of booze, 1/2 cup sugar, a quarter cup of honey, 3/4 cups water, and a 12-ounce bag of fresh cranberries. Now, the first thing you want to do is you want to prepare your dried apricots. So you want to take those, you want to chop them up really, really fine, and then soak them in the booze overnight. Now, what kind of booze, you might ask? Well, it depends on what your preference is. You could use bourbon or brandy. I personally like orange-flavored liqueurs, so like Grand Marnier, Cointreau, Triple Sec. I happen to have found this blood orange liqueur, which is it's just a different take on Triple Sec. It's really, really delicious. And I think it's gonna go really nicely in this cranberry sauce, but it does make the apricots kind of really dark in color, but it's gonna mix with the cranberry, so doesn't matter. So basically you want this to sit overnight. So do this the night before you make everything. And the assembly could not be easier. You're basically gonna take all this stuff, put it in a pot, turn on the heat, and cook it till it's done. How hard is that? So I'm gonna start with the apricots. I'm gonna add my sugar, water, my honey, yeah, I get all that good stuff in there, and then my apricots. Use fresh apricots. They're in season and they're not very expensive these days, but you can also use frozen. That's fine. Fun. Just get those in there. And just stir it up. There we go. So give this a stir. And this is gonna take literally like 10 minutes to cook. You just wanna stir it all up, and those cranberries are gonna get hot and they're gonna pop. And it's so much fun to make. All right, so what you wanna do is you wanna bring this up to a boil, and then you'll start to hear it popping. Ooh, sizzle and pop, sizzle and pop. And you're gonna turn it down just a little bit and let this simmer for about 10 minutes or so, maybe less. I suppose you can go buy some cranberry sauce. Growing up we always had the one that comes in a can, and you take the top off and you dump it out and it's like slop on the plate. Yeah, not very appetizing. Why have the slop when you can have the pop of fresh cranberries? All right, so my cranberry sauce is bubbling. What you want to do while this is simmering is just sort of mash it on the edges of the pot, just to kind of smooth it all out and help it get to that nice consistency. All right, now that this is nice and thick, I'm going to turn this off, give it a last little stir. So good. Once this cools down, this is going to be so good at our Friendsgiving dinner. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I hope you get a chance to make it for your own Friendsgiving. Happy holidays from my kitchen to yours.